life expectancy has increased over time, which we would expect. But for one group, since 2000s up until now, life expectancy has actually decreased. This is middle-aged white men. The reason for this is actually mostly self-induced.
Sure, so life expectancy has nearly doubled since 1900.
No, I'm talking about specifically for white men since 2000.
Correct, so if you can let me finish the sentence without getting 6 words into it, I let you talk about whatever you wanted to talk about. The byproduct of why white men are having lower life expectancy since 2000 is self-induced.
You slow down. I'm sorry, it's hard.
Am I talking too fast for you?
Yes, you are actually.
Okay, then I'll slow down. It is self-induced, meaning they are making bad choices. So America is a wonderful country because if you make good choices, you get rewarded, and if you make bad choices, you have bad things happen to you. So let me ask you a question. What is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
No, so my question...
No, answer the question because you're a subject matter expert on this.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Can you clarify, you said the reason that this issue is that they are making bad choices.
Yeah, so what is the primary...
This is the entire population of middle-aged white men.
Right, so if you can answer my question, since you're a subject matter expert at it, what is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
Cancer or heart disease.
Heart disease. What is the
heart disease. Everyone heard you say it.
What is the #1 reason for heart disease?
Okay, so let's move along from that.
So are facts something you don't want to talk about tonight?
I am talking about facts, and what I was asking you is life expectancy for middle-aged men has decreased since 2000. This is a fact.
This is heart disease,
which
is a byproduct.
No, I just said this study showed the reason life expectancy has decreased is attributed to, I agreed with you, those are the main causes of death, but the reason that life expectancy has decreased since 2000 is because of self-induced harm.
People like this girl just love hearing themselves speak. They don't really care about facts, although she keeps saying that she cares about facts. But when Charlie Kirk brings up the facts, she tries to dismiss it and say it's self-induced. We get it. You don't like white men, even though white men are more than likely the people and demographic that liberal white women are going to marry. Yet at every chance they have, they for some reason shame them and try to claim themselves to also be victims. You're not a victim, get over yourself.
And all I was saying is you made a claim that life expectancy has increased. It hasn't. And for this group, that is mainly the demographic that is interested in you.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
Much lower. So it's increased exponentially over time. It has for every group. Point. But then at 2000, there was a change. In 2000, there was a change.
Right.
And for men, they started to decrease.
It was a byproduct of surpluses and having food everywhere at all times.
It has nothing to do with obesity. This is self-induced harm that is causing this.
So let's walk through this. What is the #1 cause of death for middle-aged white men?
That's not what I'm talking about. So I have another thing to say.
Heart disease. What is the #1 precursor for heart disease?
So I think we've both made whatever point we wanted to make. So can I ask a second question?
I'm still trying to figure out yours, but yes, please do.
That's okay. So my second question is...
And I would like to get to your shirt at some point too, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a Black Lives Matter shirt. I feel like we are unable to have any sort of actual conversation, which is not what I came here thinking.
You are entitled to your own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts.
These are not my own facts. I could provide studies and citations for everything I've said tonight. I haven't heard you do that.
I mean, everything, you can easily reference everything.
You said things that I know are factually wrong. This is coming from research.
Name one.
That life expectancy is increased for every group in America.
And this is what I mean by people like her don't really care about facts. He said it several times that since the 1900s, the life expectancy has increased. But yes, she wants to dismiss what he said, even though a few minutes ago, she accepted that that's the case. But of course, because they all have an agenda, she won't listen to the facts. She's just going to continue to ramble on about all of her nonsense and say lies. We get it. Since the 2000s, it's dropped for straight white men, as you guys love to continue harping on about. But as I said, if you're not a lesbian, a straight white man is the person you're more than likely going to marry, yet you insult them at every chance you get. And the reason they do this is because they want to be victims so bad.
1900, which is what I said.
Well, since 2000, it has not increased for white men.
Because they're making bad choices. Heart disease is the #1 killer of middle-aged white men. What causes heart disease? Overeating, sedentary lifestyle, not working out, indulging in alcohol, and drugs too much, which is a byproduct of our amazing surpluses made possible by the free market system. You know what the #1 cause of death in Venezuela is? Starvation. I would rather have a culture where we're trying to have people join gym memberships in a New Year resolution, not eat zoo animals.
Thank you for the
I'd
conversation.
like to talk about your shirt, though.
I would not like to talk about that.
Okay, well, the fact that the entire Black Lives Matter movement is built on factually incorrect and identity politics to try to separate America, would love to have a conversation about it, but it's good because your friend's wearing the same shirt, so we could talk about that. So, thank you for being here tonight. I mean that sincerely, but go ahead.
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
What do you think socialism is? Because I think you're misunderstood.
Socialism is what I see, which is the implementation of totalitarian control on the means of the best interest of people under the guise of the failed doctrine of Marx and Engels.
That's wrong.
Just because you say it wrong doesn't make you right.
Just because you say I'm wrong doesn't make you right.
No, it actually does, because everywhere socialism has been implemented, you've seen catastrophic human deaths.
I'll let you know what socialism is.
Well, what makes you a subject matter expert on the 100 million people that have died?
Are you a subject matter expert on that?
I actually am.
Are you?
Yes.
Do you have a degree in it?
Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you know more than other people.
Do you do research on it?
Plenty, more than you.
Do you?
Yeah, let's talk about socialism and communism, because I can name all 75 failed Marxist examples on 5 continents over the last 100 years.
I think you're misunderstood as to what Marxism is.
So give me one example of where Marxism has been implemented successfully.
Socialism is worker, not government.
Okay, so give me one example of where that exists.
It doesn't exist right now.
No, you're wrong, actually, because in America, over 4 million people work in employee-owned companies. So the very model
that's not a
they
country.
Own the means of production. Yes,
no,
they own the company.
that's not a country based on socialist principles.
No, you're right. It's actually a free
That's
market country that allows your worldview to be implemented successfully and peacefully. So Publix, the largest grocery store in America, is employee-owned.
That's not socialism.
But you just said it's workers owning the means of production.
Yeah, in an entire
So you want to
country.
force that upon someone else,
No,
correct?
I don't.
So what if
I'm actually an anarchist. Not
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about it, though. So, it's okay. It's okay. She came here tonight. It's fine. So
Capitalism is antagonistic to anarchism, by the way.
Is anti what?
Is antagonistic. Can you hear me? Antagonistic to anarchism.
So you're an anarchist that is saying good things about socialism.
Yeah, because I believe in the communal ability of people to work together to come to the best.
So you have a lot of problems with the current system, right?
Basing an entire economic system on capital, on wealth, is not the best for each person in the world.
So you would want to live in a communal society, essentially, right? So why don't you go live like the Amish right now and go do it, because they live in a communal society?
That's not.
The reason she doesn't live in such a society is because she likes to point the finger at other people, and she wants other people to do it for her before she does it. People like her benefit in a capitalistic society while complaining about the capitalistic society, while also contributing to the capitalistic society, and then claiming they would love to live in another society, but never actually make the efforts to go and do that. Their whole reality and their whole life is just based on being victims and complaining about everything in the world.
That's not the point.
No, the point is you're advocating for a governmental worldview. I'm never going to tell you how to live your life. Why are you telling me how to live mine?
I'm not arguing for a governmental
You're arguing for a lack thereof one, which is one.
No.
Then why don't you go live like an anarchist off the grid? Why are you telling me how to live my life?
That's not off the grid. Anarchism isn't off the grid.
Well, why don't you go live like an anarchist right now?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm living by anarchist principles within a capitalist society, which means I'm fighting for anarchist principles.
So you're cool with a capitalist society because I'm allowing you to live like an anarchist.
No.
But then, hold on. So why do you want to tell me how to live?
I'm not telling you how to live.
Are you? So you're okay?
You're telling me how to live. I'm not telling you.
You're okay with me to have 3 houses and 6 yachts?
I don't think that's very cool, but.
Not cool, but you want to take them away from me?
No, I didn't say that.
So you'd be okay with me having $1 billion?
No.
So you're okay with? So then, what's wrong with the current system we live in again?
It is not based on the best outcome for each person. It's based on the wealthy getting wealth off of making the poorer poor.
Just because someone gets rich doesn't mean someone gets poor.
Yes, it does.
Explain that to me.
In this society, it does.
Explain that to me. When you bought your hat, who got poor?
The people who made the hat.
They voluntarily contributed their labor and they got paid for it.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then why would you buy it?
Because there's no other options in our capitalist country. There are no other options in our capitalist country.
That's totally and factually incorrect. Make your own clothes.
There aren't very many options for that.
Well, so what you're trying to say is you outsource your goods and services in a capital voluntary because you don't want to spend the time to go make your own clothes. No, what I'm trying to say is you're making the argument for you. I don't make my own clothes because I'm happy that someone in Southeast Asia gets a job so that I don't have to go make my own clothes. I'm actually really happy about that. Restate your question. Restate the question.
And then they burn alive in factories for making your clothes?
I'm really happy that Southeast Asia is experiencing an economic renaissance, so I don't have to go make my own clothes. In fact, some of these clothes are made in Italy because they're quite expensive.
So you're happy that people burn alive in factories so you can buy your clothes for cheaper?
I think that's a wonderful thing.
Okay, you're happy that people burn alive in factories. That's what you just said.
It's hilarious how she tried to switch the argument from her actually benefiting from the so-called evil capitalistic society and try to shift it to Charlie Kirk when she also benefits from it. The thing about these people, as I've said, is they love to talk and talk and talk and not take any action. We live in one of the most technologically advanced societies, and she's saying that she doesn't have the means to go and make her own product. You have got to be kidding me. But anyway, that was another video. If you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at YinkaThatGuy, and I am out.